All right, we're going live. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Check it out. He can clean up. Yeah, I know how to do it. I know how to play it. I'll never forget, I met a guy named Anwar Solomon. He owned American Restaurant Group. This was out at Lakewood Mall, Lakewood, California. First plan unit development of Los Angeles. And we had a Black Angus on site, and I needed to get an entryway for my Carl's Jr. deal. And I met Anwar Solomon, and he owned Del Taco, the Black Angus, and another chain. Anyway, he's a big dude. And I mean, he looked like Omar Sharif, right? This guy comes in. I've never seen a collar starched like him. He's got the French cuffs. He's dressed, I mean, just a handsome man, dashing. I mean, definitely a standout. But what was so cool about Anwar Solomon was he looked like he was in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. He carried himself at such a level. And what I really liked about that meeting, excuse me, gotta move that chair. What I liked about that meeting was he paid attention to me because he knew all the big shots came to meet. When I mean big shots, not Mace or Dana Kay. Those are the real big shots. But he treated me. I was new to California, and he just treated me so nicely. It's like Dana Kay, You'd never know Dana Kay's got a nickel. Now you'd look at Anwar Solomon, you say he's got a nickel, but I mean, just what a comfortable guy, casual. You know what Topeka needs more than suits? It really needs a guy in overalls, because we've got to have a guy that knows how to roll up his sleeves and make deals and work. And sometimes, think about who some of the smartest people are, the farmers. And we live in a town that it's got the elites up here deciding what you're going to pay for. We're the working class. We're labor. We've got to labor. We got to keep the money in the troffers. We got to the coffers. We work for management, and this is what's going to be interesting about this chamber-sponsored event, where my opponent is endorsed by them. I can't wait to see what the real questions are. So I'm heading out to WIBW in a minute, but I thought I'd go live. But I'll tell you, the endorsements come from guys like Chuck Lauer. That means a lot to me. The working guys. I don't know if he was a chamber guy, and it doesn't matter today. But I appreciate that. And I saw Jimmy Rankin's name on there. Thank you. Jim was one of my dad's favorite attorneys at McClure. Every once in a while, little things like that, when you get a pat on the head, it means a lot. I tell you, I already know what it's like to be mayor. You can't believe the phone calls I get. You can't really believe what people will tell you, because they want you to know there's a whole nother side of the city. There's a whole nother side of this town. And I told Dr. Perez, I told him when I met him, I go, Topeka's a really interesting town. I didn't talk about the inferiority complex, but we do have an inferiority complex. That's why we've got to bring in all these experts from out of town. Like sometimes the homegrown boys are the ones that do the best. That's how I got my job with Dana Kay and Mace. Because Dana knew, and a lot of guys from Topeka, Steve Roush, Mark Klein, Jim Swenson, Della Chadwell, Jim Britt, Jeff Probasco, Tim Gibbons, Terry Gibbons. I'm leaving some out. But anyway, Steve Roush. Steve Roush, he was in a, I remember when I was a kid, he was in a rock band called the Mods. And we'd ride our bikes, to go find out where the Mods were playing. But Dana Kay hired guys like us because he knew our background, he knew our work ethic. And I got to travel all around the country working for Mace and Dana because of being from Topeka. And I didn't hate Topeka when I left. I didn't. But today, I really see all Topeka's shortcomings. I really do. And from a deal maker standpoint, we've got the, for a lack of a better word, we've got the insane running the asylum. Well, and I'm going to tell you, Dr. Perez, the minute you start talking about closing down firehouses, when you give $9.5 million to the AT&T building and Cody Foster, things, the worm will turn. I appreciate Linnell with the Republican Party going down and talking about Go Topeka. And I think eventually things are going to catch on. One guy I saw in the paper, he said, well, he's betting on Topeka. Well, yeah, he's playing with the house's money. Hey, he's got a credit line of $8 million that he should pay current before he gets any more deals in Topeka. We should refuse, and we should stop mowing the dam out there. We've got, what's becoming very prevalent to just the common Joe is the two different Topekas we have. How this guy over here gets treated this way and this guy over here gets treated that way. We got to change it up. We really do. And so I guess we'll be streaming later on WIBW. I hope Melissa is Melissa Bruner. I hope she's asking the questions. But seriously, this goes clear back to the cry for shovel-ready land. The consultants and everybody said, look, you got to have land shovel-ready, ready to go. And that's why we started the economic development. And now where economic development is going, it's just giving the insiders money to do whatever they want. So we got to stop funding. I wouldn't even renew this sales tax if the public said, well, let's do it just for streets, or let's do it for the water department. Let's do it to make sure we don't have to close the fire department. That's okay. Sales tax is a good way to fund certain operations, but not giving it to a group that's got $3.8 million in overhead and decides what charities they want to give. When you're in the charity giving business, that starts at home. If you want to take money out of what runs your family, that's different, but you don't tax. You don't tax the citizens. You don't charge sales tax and then deciding you're going to be charitable. That's what we call chum. And chum is what you throw out when you're fishing for big game, right? So we don't need to have a taxing authority or we don't need to be taxing people. Give it to an NGO and let them spread the chum around. Hey, the party's over. Somebody's got to say no. And you know, when I'm the adult in the room, there's definitely the change needs to happen. Henry McClure Live. Suited up, ready to go. Should be in overalls, though, because that's what we need to do. We need to have a guy that knows what it's like to be on the end of a shovel. I do. But what more importantly than anything, we need to have a guy that knows how to make money. You know, we don't go out and, guys like me don't go out and hire consultants for $554,000 to tell me how to sell a piece of real estate. Think about it. I'm live, Henry McClure.